own tradition, the music that they're used to, and um, sometimes it's when extended family get together and everybody has their own melodies and they start fighting about, well, no, we're going to do it this melody, we're going to do this melody. Um, because the Seder night, as much as it is a learning experience and experience of um, telling the story of the Exodus, it's also um, about the experience itself. It's about trying to relive the experience, trying to relive that thing and the feelings and the taste, you know, of that special food of Pesach. And of course, music is a huge part of it. And I think that that's one of the reasons, at least, um, that there's so many songs, so many melodies for Pesach, for the Seder night. It's this is how we create traditions, and this is how we create family traditions, and this is how we keep ourselves and our kids awake. It's by singing. So, as I see many more are joining us, we'll have a chance to go over some stuff. If I'm not singing the melody that you're used to, maybe you're going to learn a new one. One of the most vivid memories that I have from a Pesach Seder when I was in the army, I had the privilege of leading the Leil HaSeder together with the chief rabbi of the army for 3 years. And we used to go from one base to the other. So for 3 years, we did it. Once we did it with the Navy, once we did it with the Air Force, and the third year was with the tanks. And it's a huge Seder. It's like 1,500 people or 2,000 people. And it's really a special experience. But many times the soldiers were very upset because we didn't sing the melodies that they're used to. So we can't keep everybody happy, but we're going to try. So what we did, Roger and I here, we collected some of the most common melodies and some new ones. And hopefully that's going to help you get into the mode of Pesach. So please sing with us, get into the spirit of Pesach. And the first thing we're going to do is read or sing the simanim, the seder, the order of of the night, right? So there are actually a couple of melodies for that, believe it or not. So we're going to start with the one that we're used to. Roger, are you ready? Okay, we're going to start with this one, and then let's see if you know the other ones as well. That I think is most houses use, but when I sang it to my kids, they said, no. The melody is different, and they sang this to me, and it took me a couple of minutes to remember or to realize what melody they're talking about, but that's the way they learned it in school. Shurchat karabas yachat magid rachza mutzimatza maror korech shulchan orech tzafun barech hallel nirtza. If you recognize that melody, you get an extra, I guess, matable. That's a Purim song. And apparently that's the way the kids learn it in the school. So I guess the teachers were still in the mode of Purim because they start with the Pesach right after Purim. So this is Chag Purim, Chag Purim. So I thought it was funny, but we should include it. Another adaptation for Kadesh Uchatz that I found actually is for the Rorikra. Ready? Okay. Kadesh Uchatz Karapas Yachatz Magid Arachta Motzi Matzah Maror Koresh Ulechan Orech Tzafon Barech Halel Yirtzah. Okay, so after we understand the order of the song of the night, if you have the Haggadah, actually, you can follow because we're going to go by the order of the Haggadah, all the songs. The next one is the Halachmania, beginning of the Magid section. And here's the melody. It's actually, they call it in all the books traditional melody. It's actually an Israeli melody. That is not that old, but okay. Kol dichfin yetev, ve'chol kol ditzrich yetev ve'yifsach. Kol dichfin yetev ve'chol kol ditzrich yetev ve'yifsach. Kol dichfin yetev ve'chol kol ditzrich yetev ve'yifsach. השנה לשנה הבאה בישראל, השנה לשנה הבאה בנבורים. Probably the most important line of the Haggadah. Anyone who needs, please join us for the meal. This year we are slaves. The next year, God willing, we're going to be in Israel as Neholim, which brings us to probably the most famous song of the Haggadah Shel Pesach, Manishtana. So first, we're going to do it the way it's done in most houses. And then we're going to go a little bit old school and see what's going to happen. Okay, so the first one, you got to sing with me. מה נשתנה הלילה הזה מכל הלילות, מכל הלילות, שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים חמץ ומצה, חמץ ומצה, הלילה הזה כולו מצה, הלילה הזה כולו מצה. Here in this verse, the next one, it always cracks me up because a lot of the kids, they sing הלילה הזה כולו maror. Hopefully that's not the case. It's not the entire night is maror. Hopefully there's other food at the Seder table, not only maror. So this is something you can, if the kids are going to go kulo maror, you can correct them and tell them, no, halayla hazeh maror, but it's not only maror. Okay, let's go. שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים שאר ירקות, שאר ירקות, הלילה הזה maror, maror, הלילה הזה maror, maror, שבכל הלילות אין אנו מגבילים אפילו פעם אחת, אפילו פעם אחת, הלילה הזה שתי פעמים, הלילה הזה שתי פעמים. last one. שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים בין יושבים ובין מסובים,
בין יושבים ובין מסובין, הלילה זה, כולנו מסובין, הלילה זה, כולנו מסובין.
Okay, now here's what I've done. I took a beautiful melody that I found in old records, and we're gonna combine it together with the old way, which is actually we call it the learning steige, or the traditional tune of learning Torah, because that's the way they used to do it before the Israeli melody that we just sang was written. So some of you are probably gonna recognize that, especially the second part. Let's see what's gonna happen.
מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה?
Now,
שבכל הלילות הנוכלים חמץ ומצה, הלילה הזה כולו מצה. שבכל הלילות הנוכלים שער ירקות, הלילה הזה מרור. אוי, מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? שבכל הלילות הננו מטבילים, אפילו פעם אחת, הלילה הזה שתי פעמים. שבכל הלילות הנוכלים, בין יושבים ובין מסובין, הלילה הזה כולנו מסובין. אוי, מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה? מה נשתנה הלילה הזה?
anyone recognize that melody? Yeah? Okay. Very nice. Okay. And so if that's the question, now we have to go into the answer. And then the answer is, if you have the Haggadah, probably the next page. I'm looking at the Koren, that's Jacob edition, Haggadah. So, which will, by the way, plug here for the Jacob. We have them available in the office. On page 17. And it's the Avadim Hayinu. Okay?
עבדים היינו, לפרעה במצרים, עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורין, עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורין, בני חורין, אתה בני חורין, בני חורין.
Let's do it again.
עבדים היינו, לפרעה במצרים, עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורין, עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורין, בני חורין, אתה בני חורין, בני חורין.
By the way, that line, Ata b'nei cholim, where is it in that section? If you look at the Haggadah, it's not there. It's not there. You know why? Because the melody was composed in modern Israel and it's taken from the seder that was done in the kibbutzim. And over there they had alternate text. It's the same idea, but they moved away many times from the traditional text. So Avadim Hayinu, the Pharaoh b'Mitzrayim, yes. And then instead of Vayotzienu Adonai Eloheinu Misham B'yad Chazaka B'Zoan Ploya, and God took us out from there, etc. It's now we are free people. Obviously, minimizing the role of God as the founders of the Zionist movement were Zionist, but not religious people. Okay, moving on to Vehisha Amda. So Vehisha Amda, we're going to do two versions here. One is the traditional one, and the other one was composed by one of my favorite musicians, Yonatan Razel. We're going to talk about that later. Okay, let's start with the traditional Vehisha Amda.
Vehisha Amda, Lavoteinu belanu. Vehisha Amda, Lavoteinu belanu. Shelo echad bilvad, Amad aleinu lechalotenu. Shelo echad bilvad, Amad aleinu lechalotenu. Ella שבכל דור ודור עומדים עלינו לכלותנו. אלא שבכל דור ודור עומדים עלינו לכלותנו. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידם. והקדוש ברוך הוא On
the other one, I think I recorded it last year, and we sent it as a Pesach message. So Yonatan Razel, one of most talented young artists, musicians in that genre today, lives in Israel. Very, very talented guy. Wrote this Vehisha Amda, and it became, at least in my house, became a favorite. Actually, we sing it in harmonies in my Seder table, and I hope you'll join us. So this one we sang like kind of low up until now. So Roger, I'm gonna take it high. Let's stretch the voice a little bit today. Let's go high. Okay, we're gonna do it in F, yeah. Okay.
Vehisha Amda Lavoteinu. Vehisha Amda Lavoteinu belanu. Shelo echad bilvad Amad aleinu lechalotenu. Amad aleinu lechalotenu. Vehisha Amda Lavoteinu. Vehisha Amda Lavoteinu belanu. Shelo echad bilvad Amad aleinu lechalotenu. Amad aleinu lechalotenu. והקדוש ברוך מצילנו מידם, והקרוב ברוך מצילנו, מצילנו מידם. ויהי זה עם גלבותינו, ויהי זה עם גלבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו, והקרוב ברוך מצילנו, מצילנו מידם, והקרוב ברוך מצילנו, מצילנו
Wow, boy, felt bad to stretch the voice a little bit. Sometimes during the Seder night, at least I do, pick keys that are comfortable for everybody, right? Because it's a shared experience. You have to make sure that everybody's comfortable singing, not only me. That was fun, actually. Okay. What's the next song? What's the next song? What do we have? So after Vihisha Amda, I have Dayenu, right? Okay. Well, if you don't know this one, you're probably in the wrong Zoom. Okay. I need to find it. Okay, here we go. And if you have the Bet Jacob Haggadah, is on page 57, but I'm sure you have it. Ready?
אילו הוציאנו ממצרים ולא עשה בהם שפטים די.
Again.
אילו עשה בהם שפטים ולא עשה באלוהים ולא עשה באלוהים דיינו אללה דיינו 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 אילו עשה באלוהים ולא הרג בכוריהם לא הרג בכוריהם דיינו אילו הרג בכוריהם ולא נתן לנו את ממונם לא נתן לנו את ממונם דיינו לללי דיינו 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 דיינו
As we say Dayenu, I think we had enough for this one. Okay. The next one, I'm not so sure how many are familiar with that melody. So it's just before we start actually, we start the Hallel. We just said Pesach, Matzah, Maror, and all that kind of stuff. And the culmination of all that stuff we say, therefore, it is our duty to thank, praise, glorify, exalt, honor HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all the miracles that He have done for us, right? And then it's a beautiful melody that a Hasidic melody that I came across, and I kind of adopted, and I hope you're gonna join me. Okay.
ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה, ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה, ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה, ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה. הללויה, 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 הללויה. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Again, when a man lefana, shira hadasha, when a man lefana, shira hadasha, when a man lefana, shira hadasha, when a man lefana, shira hadasha. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Which brings us to the Hallel. And Hallel is actually one of my favorite parts of the Tefillah. We obviously sing Hallel at the La Seder as well, the Seder night, but it's also the next morning we say Hallel in the shul, and actually we say Hallel every day throughout Pesach. My challenge during the holiday is to try to find different melodies for each day as we do the Hallel in the shul. If you come both days and you hear the same melody, don't tell the others. I kind of messed up. But the plan is to have different melodies for each section of the Hallel each day. Okay, so the first part, I thought of using a fun Kalibach melody that it's only 3 words. This is why it's so much fun. And it doesn't go through the entire section. So it's only Mekimi, actually 6 words. Mekimi me'afar dal, me'ashpot yarim evion. Okay?
Mekimi, 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 me'afar dal. Mekimi, 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 me'afar dal. 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 Mekimi, 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 me'afar dal. Mekimi, 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 me'afar dal. Mekimi, mekimi, me'afar dal. Mekimi, mekimi, me'afar dal. Mekimi, mekimi, me'afar dal. Mekimi, me'afar dal.
It can go forever. And the Seder night is long enough, and we have already 29 songs. So we're going to move to the next section. It's interesting. The next section, B'tzeit Yisrael Mitzrayim. When I wanted to find the music for Roger, for that, I couldn't find that. It's a version that we use here in the shul all the time. I couldn't find that. And then I remembered that I have the Haggadah that was written by Binyamin Glickman. And Binyamin Glickman put a lot of the melodies, he wrote them and put it into the musical Haggadah. And of course, lo and behold, that and many other songs that we love so much were there. So thank you, Binyamin. B'tzeit Yisrael miMitzrayim. Second part of the Hallel. Actually, it's an interesting practice that we have. We start the Hallel, then we have dinner, and then we continue with the Hallel. I think a lot of people would like to have that in shul as well. Like, start the Hallel, have like Kiddush, have something to eat, and then come back to the davening. Oh, they already do that. Okay. It's called Kiddush Club. Okay. Ready? And that's kind of a march.
בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעמלואל, הייתה יהודה לקודשו, ישראל ממשלותיו. עיינות, הירדן יזוב לאחור, הערים רגלו גלים, גבעות, כבני צאן. Here we're actually going to change the melody, and it's question answer. So Roger is going to be the choir here also. Malech hayam kitanu ayarden Kisole apor karam Harim Tirgerovelim Ararara Giveneiton Arara Mili Beneyaron Oliare Arara Milivere Eloaya Avachiaton Agamaim Aram Salamis Lemainomai. Okay, at that point, you eat the matzah, you eat the maror. I hope you're having a good meal. And after Birkat Hamazon, we come back and continue with the Hallel. And we continue with the Hallel, with the third paragraph of the Hallel. Lolanu Hashem, Lolanu Keshimchat and Kavod. I'm going to continue with another fun Karli Bach melody. Israel Betach Bashem. Israel, Israel Betach Bashem. Ezra Magiramo. Israel, Israel Betach Bashem. Ezra Magiramo. Israel, 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 Betach Bashem. Ezra, oh Magiramo. Israel, 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 Betach Bashem. Israel, 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 Ezra Magiramo from the top. Israel, Israel, Betach Bashem. Ezra Magiramo. Israel, Israel, Betach Bashem. Ezra Magiramo. Israel, 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 Betach Bashem. Israel, 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 Ezra Magiramo. Israel, 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 Betach Bashem. Israel, 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 Ezra Magiramo. So I don't know if you noticed or if you remember, but the Seder is going to be actually on Shabbat. So it's Friday night, and I was thinking, we have so many beautiful songs for Shabbat, and I want to incorporate some of the Shabbat songs into the Haggadah songs, into the Pesach songs. And so the next section of the Hallel, the next paragraph, Hashem Zacharanu Yevarech, I decided to use a beautiful melody that was written for Boi Veshalom, the last stanza of Lecha Dodi, also by Karlebach. And I put the text of Hashem Zacharanu Yevarech into the text, into the melody of Boi Veshalom. Let's see how it's going to go. Kind of a reminder that it's Friday night this year. Hashem Zacharanu Yevarech Yevarech Beit Yisrael Yevarech Beit Aaron Yevarech Irei Yaroshem Atanim Magdolim Yosef Roishem Aleichem Aleichem Ve'al Benechem Melechul Beser Pochim Matevem Elachem Ose Shomayim V'Haaretz Hashamayim Shamayim L'Aroshem Ve'Haaretz Natal Livnei Adam V'lo Ameirim Ya'aleluga V'lo Gol Yordei Roma V'anachnu Nevarech Ya Ve'yata ve'ya'olam Hallelujah La 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 Just a little bit of reminder that it's going to be Friday night. The next section, the next paragraph is Ahavti, another section from the Hallel, and there's a beautiful melody for Ana Hashem Ki Ani Avdecha. I usually use it for a different tune for later on in the paragraph, but let's do that this way, the way it's written. Ana Hashem. Ana Hashem, Ana Hashem, Ki Ani Avdecha. Ana Hashem, Ana Hashem, Ki Ani Avdecha. Ani Avdecha. Oy ben amatecha, ani avdecha. Oy ben amatecha, ani avdecha. Oy ben amatecha, pitachta lemoserai. Ani avdecha. Oy ben amatecha, ani avdecha. Ben amatecha, ani avdecha. Ben amot gavera bitachale mosavera. It's a beautiful melody. I'm your servant, God. Anashem, Anashem. Ani amzebecha. Anashem, Anashem. Ani avdecha. Ani avdecha. Ben amot ani avdecha. Ben amot ani avdecha. Oy ben amot vidachta lemos bevera. So there's such a wealth of melodies for Leila Seder, for all the songs that we sing. And some of the stuff, what I wanted to do is to kind of highlight the fact that we can use some of of the melodies that we like into other texts. So, for example, the next one, Hallelujah Hashem Kol Goyim, we're going to use the melody of Dayenu. Why not? Right? It was, everybody likes it, and it's kind of like another way to get people into the spirit of things. Okay? Ready? Okay. Give me a seat. Hallelujah, Hashem, Kol Goyim, Sabbehu Kol Haumim. Ki gavah aleinu chazaloho, be'merat Hashem le'olam, hallelujah. Dai dai da la lai, da da dai dai da la lai, di dai la 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 lai, da da la la la. Odu la Hashem gi tovot gi le'olam. Everybody repeat. Odu la Hashem gi tovot. Odu la Hashem ki yidavon ki le'olam Yom Adonai Yisrael ki le'olam Odu la Hashem ki yidavon ki le'olam Odu la Hashem. You know what? If you're going to come to shul, I promise I'm going to sing that melody just for you, or a different text as well. You know what? We're going to do it for Adon Olam. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to do Adon Olam for Dayenu, but that means you have to join me. Okay. Where are we? We're still in the Hallel. Obviously, we can't sing every song that's possible in the Hallel because it's really going to be Leila Seder. It's going to be here. We're going to be here till the middle of the night. But one of the most beautiful melodies, Pitchuli Sha'arei Tzedek. You can continue that for Odcha Ki Ani Tani as well. Let's go with Pitchuli Sha'arei Tzedek. Pitchuli Sha'arei Tzedek. Avova Modeya, we be holy, Sha'arei Tzedek, Avova Modeya, be holy, Sha'arei Tzedek, Avova. We be holy, Sha'arei Tzedek, Avova, Ovodeya. Ya da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ya ba 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 ba. Ya ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. Bil voli sarei tzedek avova odeya bil voli sarei tzedek avova odeya. Okay, in that spirit of using or reusing melodies, actually one of the common melodies that people use for Adilhu, right, goes to Adiru, Adiru, you notice, or you haven't noticed yet, but we're not going to use that because I want to expose you guys to another melody. So I'm going to use that melody, the traditional Adilhu, for here in the Hallel, for Ana Hashem Oshiana. Give me a C. Ana Hashem Oshiana. Ana Hashem Oshiana. Ana Hashem Oshiana. Yeah, you know that? Have that in mind because we're going to use that melody. We're not going to use that melody. I'm sorry. We're not going to use that melody for Adihu. We're going to use a different melody. But wanted to make sure we're going to use that melody. The next is a beautiful Chabad melody, Eliata Veodeka, towards the end of the Hallel. What are we going to do that in F minor? Okay. Eliata Veodeka. It's a beautiful, beautiful melody. Eliata Veodeka Eloi Adromemeka Eliata Veodeka Eloi Adromemeka. Again, to the top. Eliata Veodeka Eloi Adonai Oye Eliata Veodeka Eloi Adonai Eliada Veodeka Eloi Aromemeka Eliada Veodeka Eloi Aromemeka Eliada Veodeka Eloi Aromemeka Eliada Veodeka Eloi Aromemeka. That ends the part of the Hallel, which takes us into a tefillah, a beautiful tefillah that's called Nishmat, or the way the Talmud calls it, Birkat Hashir. And we recite Nishmat every Shabbat and every holiday, just before I start Shacharit, as part of Pesukei de Zimra. So usually that tefillah doesn't get the proper focus, but I highly, highly recommend that you read through that beautiful tefillah. The words are absolutely magnificent, and that's probably the essence of the whole evening. Why am I saying this? Because I came across a beautiful melody, which I learned only on Friday, for part of Nishmat. It's just a couple of lines from the Nishmat. Ilu finu maleh shira kayam. If our lips were full of praise, like the spacious heavens, uleshonenu rina kahamon galav, and our eyes shone like sun and the moon. ושפתותינו שבח כמרחבי רקיע, ועינינו מאירות כשמש וכירח, וידינו פרוסות כנשרי שמיים. If our hands were outstretched like eagles of the sky, and our feet as swift as hinds, ורגלינו קלות כאיילות. If only. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, השם אלוקינו ואלוקי אבותינו. Still, we could not thank you enough, Hashem, our God and God of our fathers. Such magnificent words, complimentary of King David, of course, but such magnificent words. And an Israeli artist, a secular guy by the name of Shlomo Gronich, wrote this melody that when I heard that, I just said, we have to do it as part of our sing-along. You always have to add something new, right, to the Seder. You have to learn something new. As the Talmud says, "En beit midrash velo chidush." You always, every time you learn, and of course, our Seder night is all about the experience of learning. You have to learn something new. So this time, we're going to add not only, hopefully, Divrei Torah of something new, but this year, maybe we're going to add some new songs as well. Ilu finu. This is absolutely stunning, at least I think so, and different. F, yeah? Ilu finu, male shira kayam, uleshonenu rina kamon galav, ושפתותינו שבח כמרחבי רקיע, ועינינו מאירות כשמש והירח, וידינו פרוסות כנשרי שמיים, ורגלינו קלות כאיילות. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, על השם אלוקינו ואלוקי אבותינו. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, על השם אלוקינו ואלוקי אבותינו. אילו פינו מלא שירה ולשוננו רינה כמנגלה, ושפתותינו שבח כמרחבי רקיע, ועינינו מאירות השמש וכירח, וידינו פרוסות כנשרי שמיים, ורגלינו קלות חיילות. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך על השם אלוקינו ואלוקי אבותינו. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך על השם אלוקינו ואלוקי אבותינו. I don't know about you, but I had fun singing that. And from the new into the familiar, Karev Yom. So Karev Yom is the last stanza of the beauty of that long song that it happened at midnight. It's a fascinating, by the way, poem. If you look through that, and if you attended my class last week, then you would recognize some of the stanzas that talks about Abraham and about Lot celebrating Pesach, which is fascinating. Apparently, Pesach was celebrated already 400 years before the Exodus. But if you want to understand more about that, you have to go online and check out my class that I gave on Zoom on Tuesday. I will post that. Okay, Karev Yom. Karev Yom, Asher hu lo yom velo layla. Karev Yom, Asher hu lo yom velo layla. Ram Oda, ki lecha yom afrecha halayla. Karev Yom, Asher hu lo yom velo layla. Shomrim haked leircha kol hayom vekol halayla. Kair keyor yom cheshach layla. Karev Yom, Asher hu lo yom velo layla. Okay, that takes us into the, yes, I'm going to we're going to skip that. We're going to go into Chazal Sidur Pesach, the Nirtzas part. Okay. Chazal Sidur, that's Chazal Sidur. Yeah. Chazal Sidur Pesach kehilchato, kechol mishpato vefchato, kasher zachinu lezaderoto, ונזכה לעשותו, תחשובן מעונה, ומם כהל עדת ממנה, וקרוב נאה נידחנה, קרב נאה נידחנה, תלויים לציון מרינה. Which take us right into the next song, Roger. לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה ירושלים הבנויה, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים הבנויה. Of course, here, as you know, there are many melodies. Lashana haba, etc. There are many melodies, but we just chose one. You remember what I said about the Adirhu? We use that melody because now, when it's actually the time to sing Adirhu, we're not going to sing that melody. We're going to sing a different melody. It's a Hasidic melody. It's actually a Kalibach melody, and I think the Kalibach actually adopted it from the Mojit Hasidim. But either way, it's a Hasidic melody. Again. يمينو بكارو البنات بنيخا بكارو البنات بنيخا بكارو وريرو يبنيتو بكارو ويا ريرو يبنيتو بميرا يمينو بكارو بميرا يمينو بكارو البنات بميخا بكارو البنات It could be much more fun after 4 glasses of wine, promise you. Okay. If you don't know the next song, then you're probably also in the wrong Zoom channel. אחד מי יודע. So I know that here in America, there are a lot of versions for that in English and a lot of fun stuff. I decided to go with the Israeli melody, simple version of it. Just going to do a little bit. We're not going to do the whole thing. Yeah, definitely we're not going to go all the way to 13. Let's see. Let's start a little bit. אחד מי יודע, אחד אני יודע, אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. שניים מי יודע, שניים אני יודע, שני לוחות הברית. אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. One more? Okay. שלושה אני יודע, שלושה אני יודע, שלושה אבות, שני לוחות הברית. אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. Something that's really fun that we do in my house. I printed papers with the big numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth until 13, and also pictures. Whether it's the Shlosha Avot, or the 4 mothers, or the 5 chumashim, or the 6 parts of the Mishnah, or just like try Google pictures or images. Sorry, Google images. You'll find a bunch of stuff. And I just printed them, and then we give the kids and everybody gets a number and a picture. And when it's that number, they need to raise it up. And it becomes really a lot of fun, especially when the song is faster and you drank 4 cups of wine and you make mistakes. 5, it becomes 4, 4 becomes 6, 8, 9, etc. And it's a lot of fun. Let's do one more. Arba mi yodea, arba ani yodea, arba imaot, שלושה אבות, שני לוחות הברית, אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. Which brings us to the last song, Chad Gadia. This is a melody that I think it's the most popular one, at least here in America. Chad Gadia. We're not going to do all the verses, going to do a little bit here. Chad Gadia, Chad Gadia. Desavina babitrezu de Chadgadia, Chadgadia. Ve'ata shunra ve'achela legadia, Chadgad. I'm sorry, my mistake. Ve'ata shunra ve'achela legadia, Desavina babitrezu de Chadgadia, Chadgadia. ואתה כלבה ונעזב לשוננה דאחלה לגדיה דזבינה בביתרי זוזי חדגדיה חדגדיה ואתה פוקרה ואיקה לגלבי דאיקה לחלבה דנעזב לשוננה דאחלה לגדיה דאחלה לגדיה Desavina babitri zunde, Adagadia, Adagadia. And it goes and continues that song, etc. So I hope I hit or I touched upon at least most of your favorites. And if not, then maybe you learned a couple of new melodies for this year. So I wish you all a wonderful Chag Kasher v'Sameach. I'm looking forward to seeing you very, very soon in our beautiful sanctuary here, Chappelle Sanctuary here at Bet Jacob. I hope that you will have a wonderful, wonderful holiday filled with happiness, joy, and freedom, physical, spiritual freedom. And I hope that you're all going to come together very, very soon and enjoy the holiday. Chag Kasher v'Sameach, Shabbat Shalom. I know it's early, but it's tough. And thank you for joining us.
Yasher Koach. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, thank you.
Sameach.